January 6th was anniversary happened yesterday. Ashley Babbitt's mother arrested outside of Capitol. Second anniversary of January 6th riot. I think there's not a lot going on with that, is there? She went to protest, got arrested.
Yeah, there's nothing really there.
Yeah.
Um,
The and the it's all speculation right now with the prosecutor guy with the Justice Department who may or may not be doing things. So it's still up in the air.
I still
So
find the focus on January 6th to be um, tiresome. Like the whole idea that it was like I'm sure you've seen this sentiment. Maybe you share it, maybe you don't. But the whole sentiment that it's like the worst thing to ever happen. It's worse than 9/11. Uh, I mean, Jesus Christ.
um, I think it's very important and unfinished. It's unresolved at the moment. That's why people are not happy with it. The It's unresolved on both sides. If you were there and think that uh, uh, the 2020 election was illegitimate, the illegitimate guy is still sitting in the White House right now. It's Joe Biden. It's unresolved for those people. For the people on the left who think that those people are crazy, some of them got prosecuted for the crimes that they did, and Donald Trump is still running around and running for president in next year. He's gonna run. He's already claimed that he's gonna run. So that is unresolved for me. It's unresolved because I think he did crimes and he just chilling. So it's unresolved for everybody. If you feel it's tiresome, it's because nothing's happening. I'm tired of nothing happening. I would like something to happen.
Well, I'll say this. I know people like I've accepted the election at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I was over it like a week or two after the fact. Um, but for people that still believe that the election was illegitimate, even I know some of them,
Mm-hmm.
and even they're like, "Dude, I'm just fucking sick of hearing about January 6th. Like, it's it's over and done. Like, it
It,
happened,
it's not
but
over.
the
It's not
fact
done.
that, but the way that it gets overblown is totally ridiculous. Um, that's the thing is like
What's
this
overblown?
idea, the whole idea. It was like the government, like people act like the government came even close to being overthrown.
It
Like,
came
give me a
the
break. I mean,
closest that it's ever come. That's the closest our government's ever come to being overthrown.
and it totally
Maybe
blows my
since
mind.
maybe since the Civil War. There might have been more things that happened in the Civil War that could have
It
overthrown our government.
blows my
But
mind entirely that that is even close to a thought that's bandied about. I mean, this is the same side where if I say, we need guns to protect ourselves from the government as a 2A person,
mm-hmm.
and a non 2A person says, you're never going to beat the government with your guns, so you don't need them anyway. And then that same person will say that January 6th was very nearly a complete overthrow of our government.
Not nearly. I didn't say
Ridiculous.
nearly. Okay, so saying that they almost overthrew the government is an exaggeration, but saying
Wild exaggeration,
that
yes.
someone tried, that's a true statement. That's the closest we've come to an overthrow is, I would also say, a true statement. Since maybe the Civil War, I mean, say, if I made the statement, this is the closest we've come to someone overthrowing the government since the Civil War, I think that's a true statement. It may still be 9 miles away, but 9 miles is closer than we've ever come. And as I
I
said,
mean,
it's not over. It's not done with. It's not resolved. Some of the people went to jail, but I honestly think that Donald Trump wanted it, pushed for it to happen, and intended for it to happen. And
I
he,
understand, but at the same time, you do understand that it's not the first time that there were rioters inside the Capitol building, even in the last like decade.
There have been protesters inside there before, right?
Yes.
I haven't seen anybody else breaking down the doors, overcoming the security, running into the halls, and then getting shot. I think that's all new stuff, right? I
Um,
mean, has this happened recently in the past that I just don't know about?
yeah. Let's see. There was the climate protesters in 2020 something.
Okay. How many of them
Let
broke down the doors and got shot?
me check.
Okay.
Forcing thousands of the protesters rushed to the state capitol Wednesday night, forcing their way through doors, crawling through windows, and jamming corridors. As word spread of hastily called votes on Governor Scott Walker's controversial bill limiting
Yeah, I
collective
remember
bargaining
this.
rights for public workers.
I remember this. This was in Wisconsin. Yeah, I can't look at it. It's a paywall, but that is a protest that happened. They filled up the
Same capital,
Wisconsin's
actually.
at the what?
Yeah,
At the
that's
Wisconsin
not the same
state
capital.
capitol. I know that's Wisconsin. I remember when this happened. Uh, I don't remember anybody getting shot, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Those people are protesting an actual problem, a thing that is real. The people on in the national capital on January 6th were not protesting a thing that was real, and I think most of them knew it. They were just upset that they didn't get to win, or they have attached their identity to their human identity to their political preferences. And when your political preferences don't win, it is an attack on your very identity, your very humanity is under attack when your political preferences don't get respected. I think it's a shitty way to go through life. Nobody ought to do that.
I just don't think it came close to being an actual overthrow.
No, I would say it's 10 miles from an overthrow. Yeah, 10 miles. We're 10 miles from an overthrow, but what were they trying to accomplish at the time? They were the plan to gum up the works was put together by people in the White House. And I've watched those January 6th hearings. I think Trump knew about that plan to gum up the works. They had a specific goal in mind to not allow those votes to be certified on that day.
Sure, and at best harebrained. I mean, come
It's
on.
a yeah, it's a shit plan. It's not a good plan, but that was the plan. One, don't let the votes finish, and then hire lawyers who then read the Constitution and say these votes shall, shall is an important word, be ratified on this day on January 6th. And then then your lawyer says, hey, they were not, says they shall be, but they weren't. That makes Joe Biden illegitimate. That was the plan. That was the only that was the overall top of the pyramid plan. Hey, Constitution says they shall be counted on this day. They weren't. Start a lawsuit. Create the loophole that you get to sue them over, and then you get to say that Joe Biden is illegitimate. And those people were, and everybody at the Jan 6 rally was duped, was tricked, was lied to by the people they trust. And I don't think that it's over. Yeah, and yes, it was still 10 miles away from actually working or overthrowing the government, because even if they had accomplished that one top of the pyramid goal, don't let them, they shall be counted on this day, and they weren't. Hence we sue. The suit would be thrown out. It would go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court, that's what Trump wanted. Again, that's step two. Get it to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court, since Trump thinks that they're loyal to him, would say, "Oh yeah, they weren't, so we have to do the count again, or we have to have another election, or the Supreme Court's going to make a decision or something like that." And he thought maybe that would give him a better chance. And it's not over. You might be tired of it, and you're right. It can be tiring, but it's not over. It's not done with. It will continue, and it might happen again.